Happy Feel Good Friday. Welcome to Hammer Dahn, the number one gambling podcast coming out of the PMI office. I am Tone Diggs, joined by Bubba Gumpino and our NFL expert, former NFL GM, every single role in and off, front office, coach, scout, you name it, Mr. Michael Lombardi.
What's up, fellas? How we doing today, huh?
Michael, how you doing today? Let's get right into it. What did you think about last night?
You know, I think that whenever you play the Chiefs, you better win the middle eight. I wrote about the middle eight in my book. The last 4 minutes of the first half, the first 4 minutes of the second half. And, you know, I think Houston had an opportunity. They're down 14-7. They gave up a 4-point play, which was horrible. You know, you knew the ball was going to Kelsey down there. They didn't double him. He got inside out, and they scored a touchdown. Okay, you live with the mistake. You go on. 2 minutes to go in the half. You're driving it, and you try a 51-yard field goal. Now, at some point, someone's going to finally admit that field goals are turnovers. They turn the ball over, and instead of going in 14-10, maybe 14-14, they go in the half 17-7, knowing that the Chiefs are getting the ball to start the second half. So that game goes from a chance to be close at halftime to a blowout in the third quarter. And then you can't play from behind against the Chiefs, especially when they can score and control the ball the way they did. They played left-handed last night. They had 13 third downs. They never typically do that. They usually have 8 third downs in a game. But they played left-handed. They chose to run ball control, run the ball, and short passing game. Tyreek Hill wasn't a factor. But they beat them the way they wanted to play. So hats off to Kansas City. The under cashed, but if you took the points, you gave up the points, you were smart. I was on the wrong side of that one.
Yeah, we Gumpy and I both, or Gumpy teased the over and the Chiefs, so he was good, and then I had the Chiefs, but then I lost the UAB game. I mean, they had some chances, but that was our bets last night. The under was wild because I mean it was under all day until the fourth quarter. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like the Chiefs weren't rusty at all. David Johnson looked good. Will Fuller looked good for the Texans a little bit, but I mean, I don't know how to judge them. Was it the Chiefs just that good or the Texans didn't look good?
I think that the right side of Texans' offensive line was problematic. I mean, you know, Titus Howard, the kid they drafted in the first round 2 years ago, didn't play well against Frank Clark. And then certainly, you know, Zach Fulton did not play well against Chris Jones. And that gave Deshaun Watson some real trouble. And I think that was the biggest problem. And that's why he couldn't get the ball worked down the field like he wanted to. Look, I think the Texans defensively, Watt had 2 tackles. They're not going to be good enough on defense. They can't win games if they score, 7 points going into the fourth quarter. They're not going to win very many games because they're going to give up some points on defense. They need to play better offense, and they need to control the pace of the game better. I thought David Johnson was much better, but I think the criticism that I have, when you play the Chiefs, you better play Canadian football. And by that I mean you better get first downs and 2 downs. Because you don't want to risk kicking the ball back to them, punting the ball back to them, because you don't convert your third downs. So you've got to be really good with your extensive 2 second down play call sheet. We don't talk about second down call sheet very much, but for example, last year, the New Orleans Saints were the best Canadian football team in the NFL. Sean Payton loves to go first downs on second down. And when you do that, you stay out of third down. You also get the clock working in your favor. And I think that's where they lost the game as well.
Yeah, Mike, do you think Fuller's going to be good enough to be that number one option for Watson, or do you think he'll have trouble filling the boots of Hopkins there?
No, I think he will be. I mean, look, the reason Hopkins was so successful, Hopkins covered on every play. Hopkins can't run away from anyone. He can catch anything within his radius, which is remarkable. He's like Inspector Gadget the way he can extend his arms. But Fuller could take the top off of the defense. I think the early drop hurt them. They needed that. That was the first drive of the game. That hurt them. And, I think the protection's got to get much better. They've got to be able to, so Watson can hold the ball to get it down the field.
All right, Michael, let's jump into the rest of the games this weekend that we didn't talk about yesterday, and then we will get your picks for the weekend, and then we'll let you go, and then we'll get into ours. So let's start Jets at Bills. Currently, Bills minus 6.5. What do you think about this game?
Look, this is one of those games where last year, when you watched them, the Jets, for whatever reason, played the Bills pretty well. You know, I mean, they had them 16-0 at the going in the fourth quarter and lost that game, and then they came back and played them. A lot of people are taking the Jets in the points here, you know, and the Jets have no names on defense, but they had no names on defense last year, you know, and Greg Williams does such a great job of pressuring. And Josh Allen's inability to be accurate with the football makes me worried here. I don't love the Jets receivers. There's really, you know, who is going to be the guy they're getting the ball to? You know, Le'Veon Bell could be a much better player this year for them. I think he needs to be. So, you know, my inclination is these divisional games in September are usually close. They're usually really close. I would take the points in the Jets.
Yeah, then it's the lowest total of the weekend at 39.5, and I assume it's for reasons like you just said. The Jets literally have no weapons on the outside. Josh Allen is inconsistent at best, throwing the ball down the field. I see there's actually some money on the under there. I remember they played early last year, and that game easily went under. Are you taking anything around that side?
Yeah, I mean, look, again, I'm cautious because people say, well, Jets don't have Jamal Adams, but they have Greg Williams, who does a really good job. And I think when you break Williams down, he makes Josh Allen play faster. And when a guy who's inaccurate has to play faster, he becomes more inaccurate. Now, you know, you guys got the numbers in front of you, just like I'm looking at here. You know, a lot of people, there's not a lot of ticket counts on the Jets, but there's a lot of money on the Jets. I think that line's a little long. Yeah,
I'm seeing Jets have 54% of the money is what I'm seeing, and only 28% of the bets. So it's like the Sharps, like you said, the Sharps like the Jets in this game.
No doubt, no doubt. And you know, I think really what the people listening to this podcast need to understand: you want to be on the side of the book.
Yes.
You want to be on the side of the book. You want to be on the side where there's no money, because that's typically now you're going to lose some, but you'll be 60% winner if you're on the side of the money.
The Bills were also a lot better against the spread on the road last year, not as great at home.
All right, let's jump now to Eagles and the football team. The football team is getting 5.5 at home, and you're talking about being on the side of the book. Only getting 35% of the bets is the Washington football team, but almost 60% of the money. So that would be the side of the book on this one. What do you think?
This is a book you play all the way here. I think this is a tough matchup for the Eagles. I think, you know, I mean, anybody want to guess what the Eagles' record is the last 2 years after winning the Super Bowl?
Not great, I would assume.
It's 19-16 counting playoffs, 3 games over 500. I mean, they're not a great team. And we have them up, you know, people have a perception that they are, but they're not. And they have a lot of injuries, you know, and I think the strength of this Washington football team is in their defensive front.
Yep.
The weakness of the Eagles is in their offensive line. I think they're going to put pressure on Carson Wentz. I think it's going to be hard. Haskins played well against them last year. I don't know if he can duplicate that. But my inclination is I think this is, once again, a harder matchup for Philly than they think it's going to be. Heat, humidity will be a factor in this game. I'm taking the Redskins in the points here. I'm going to be on the side of the book.
Yeah, and to your point, I remember the Washington football team playing the Eagles very well last year.
They did. Remember the opener? They had them at halftime, and then Deshaun Jackson made 2 huge plays. And let's go back to when Carolina played the Eagles when Riverboat Ron was the coach of the Carolina Panthers. They were up. The Eagles were up 20-0 in the fourth quarter and lost that game.
Yeah. So Washington lost by 5 in week 1 and then in 10 in week 15, but it was closer than that 10. I remember the Eagles coming back there at the end and I had a late cover. So the next game on our list after is Seattle at the Falcons. Falcons are getting 2.5. I strangely like the Falcons here for some reason because I know the Seattle when they go east week 1 doesn't have a great record, but I also have a hard time trusting the Falcons because last year they were bad.
You know, I mean, this one this is one of my plays of the week. I like Atlanta here. I like Atlanta for a lot of reasons, but I think you can throw the ball in Seattle, and I don't think Seattle has a great pass rush, and I think that Seattle's secondary can be exploited. You know, I mean, Jamal Adams is a nice player, but he doesn't cover anybody. And I think that this team's healthy. Atlanta's healthy. Calvin Ridley will be a huge factor in the game. Julio's going to be a huge factor in the game. You know, the tight end will be a huge factor. I mean, they've got weapons in Atlanta, you know, and this is the best Todd Gurley's going to be all season. right? This is the best he's going to be. And so I like what Raheem Morris did last year on defense. I think he helped them. They lost 27-20 to Seattle last year before they made the change. I think, I hate betting against Russell Wilson. I hate betting against him. But I just think this is one of those times where I think Atlanta playing at home, this is a game that Atlanta really, any slow start by Atlanta, they could see a change in coaching staff. So they got to get it going quick.
Also, this will be the best that the Falcons defense is all year because they are always riddled with injuries. They have the talent on the defense. They just have always been riddled with injuries on that side of the ball.
And part of my plays this week is the fact that the teams I'm playing are healthy now. I don't know if I play these teams in December, but they're healthy now. And I think you got to take advantage of it. Look, Atlanta, Atlanta's got a chance to, I don't know, they jumped all over Todd Gurley. And everybody told me Todd Gurley's, wasn't healthy and, yada, yada, yada. He hasn't looked the same since 2 years. Yeah. But, when you line up, whatever you think of Gurley, when you line up Gurley in the backfield, you've got Hayden Hurst at tight end, who's a really good player. You got Julio, Calvin Ridley, whoever the third receiver is, plus an offensive line that's not bad. You're going to put some points on the board, and I think they will. I think they'll move the ball effectively on him. Now, the key is going to be, can Fowler rush the passer? Can McKinley rush the passer? Can they put pressure on them, and can they hold up in the secondary? I think they will.
Well, we saw it last night with David Johnson. The same thing could happen. The same exact thing could happen for the Falcons.
Yep, exactly right. That's right. Play well for 2 quarters and then get hurt.
I would like to welcome into the room Mr. Pat McAfee, I believe.
Uh-oh. There should be drum roll.
Hey, what's going on? I'm trying to put some batteries in my thing. Lombardi, I got to say, everything you're saying, I don't agree.
That's all right. That's why we call it betting. There's always the other side.
I haven't heard a thing you said, to be honest with you, but I do know that I came in here strictly to flex my night last night. Did you see what I did last night, Lombardi?
No, I did not. I missed that.
Huge player prop night.
I saw
went 8-9 last night, Lombardi. Went 8-9 last night.
Wow. Oh, you're on fire. What do you like? Well, I mean, keep the streak going. Don't talk about it. Keep it going. Is 8-9 good? I don't know. Is that good?
I made we have a super boost going this weekend for the Indianapolis Colts. -7.5. Have you talked about this with him?
No, I have not.
-7.5. The Colts going down to Jacksonville to play against a team that's obviously taking under the leadership of David Blaine Caldwell, I've heard a legend say. I got that boosted from...
Hey, I would love to take the Colts. I'm worried about the heat and humidity down there. That's the one thing I'm worried about is them tiring out. But I think they're going to wear Jacksonville down with that big offensive line. Plus, I think Rivers will play really well. I think Rivers will have a good game against them. I mean, he's basically playing against a team that he's practiced against for the last 4 years because the scheme they run in Jacksonville is exactly the scheme they run in Los Angeles defensively. It's exactly the same scheme. It's Gus Bradley's scheme. It's the same scheme. So he's used to it. I mean, he knows it. He can see it. I think he's going to have a huge day down there.
Mike, what do you think about Chargers-Bengals? Bengals are getting 3 at home.
Look, call me crazy, but I like the Bengals offensively. They've got, their offensive line's much better. They get the Williams kid back at left tackle. I don't think they're great in the offensive line, but I think Joe Mixon deserves a Purple Heart for getting 1,000 yards running behind that line last year. I mean, that was amazing, right? Joe Mixon's one of the best players in the league, and they've got skilled players everywhere. Now they're going to have a hard time blocking Melvin Ingram. They're going to have a hard time blocking Joey Bosa. I get that. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't have the faith in Tyrod Taylor that obviously Anthony Lynn has. I worry about Tyrod Taylor being an effective player. Look, the Browns, when they had him as the starter, Hugh wanted to make him the starter. And then once we saw Baker go in there, it was different. I would take probably the Bengals and the points here.
Now you only bet like things that you're comfortable with. You're not just out there shooting from the hip. So that you actually like that pick a lot then.
I'm going to give you the 3 picks that I like the most today. That's what I'm going to bet on. What I'm going to recommend you bet on. The other ones, they're more leans for me. Like I don't feel good enough. I want to watch Jacksonville play a game before I really go all out against them. But I like Indy's team. I like that matchup. And same thing here. I like the Bengals, but I want to watch that offensive line. There's some things I need to see. And without the preseason tape, for me, it's always based on the tape. Like Monday morning when I get in this office, I'm going to watch every single game and go over every game. And then that's going to lead me to making my recommendations for the week. And then the power rankings, which I can't come up with power rankings now because I don't have any data. Last year, I used those power rankings tremendously.
All right, Michael, before we get into the last 3 games, why don't you, since you just teased it, why don't we get your 3 picks, your three hammered Dahn picks for the weekend?
Here's my 3, and trust me, I won't go on any other show like Vegas Dave and pick the opposite.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
all right, okay. We appreciate that.
I think Jimmy Vaccaro used to do that too.
Yeah, I mean that's I got blocked by him on Instagram, by the way, but that's a whole other question.
Vegas Dave blocked you?
Yeah, he blocked me. Because I was just on Instagram, like, why are you lying to people? Like, why are you the Bernie Madoff of people? Like, why are you doing this? I hate that he rips people off. I hate it. It bothers me. It's just, it's my mother raised me right. Anyway, all right, here's what I like.
Former NFL GM, hold on though. Former NFL GM, a man who's been there, done that with the NFL, is going after a guy on Instagram named Vegas Dave. Mike, that is why I love.
He's deserved.
I love
He's
you.
deserved.
I love you.
I mean, I just think it's bullshit that he's taking advantage of people and he's promising, and he's lying. I just hate it. Anyway, here's where I am. I love the Rams against the Cowboys.
Whoa. No.
And here's why. I think this will be the best the Rams look. I think Sean McVay's really good at knowing it. I think there's a ton of sharp action on the Rams, I think, they only have 43% of the tickets. They got 68% of the money. That combination I like, so I'm going to go Rams. I'll take the 3. I'm going to take the Denver Broncos because I think they're the only team of the 16 that are playing that have a true home field advantage.
Okay, that makes sense.
Plus, this game kicks off at 10:15 East Coast time, which is 9:15. I mean, for some of us, we're probably going to need to have a couple 5-hour power drinks to stay awake for this. I don't know how the Titans practice for this and where their energy level is. I think that's a concern. And I think the altitude combined with that. Plus, they lost 16-0 out there last year. I think Vic Fangio knows how to stop a running game. I think he's very good at doing that. I think Pat Shurmur's a better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. I'm going to take Denver in the 2.5, and then I'm going to take Atlanta and hold my breath with Russell Wilson because I hate betting against Russell. But I think Atlanta has got a team that, for the most part, that if they stay healthy, I think they're going to move the ball really well offensively.
And where'd you get that line? 2.5?
2.5. So most of the time, I get the lines. What I try to do just when I post these on Twitter, or I talk about them on. This week, my podcast was recorded on Wednesday, so I didn't have time to do it. But on my pod, I'll make the picks, and they'll be based on the circle lines because that's at least they're the standard lines. I don't want if you can get a better number than what I'm giving you, go ahead and get it.
All right, before we let you out of here, we have to get your opinion on Bucs Saints because I believe that's probably going to be the most watched game of the weekend, has the most intrigue. How do you think about your boy Tommy?
I'm worried about. Look, I think the Saints are one of the worst teams opening day that you can think of.
Yep.
I mean, Sean Payton, for as great a coach as he is, and I love Sean to death, they have not been very good on opening day. They have struggled. I do think Bruce Arians has been good on opening day. I think Brady's got a lot of weapons. Todd Bowles understands how to play them. I would lean towards the Bucs here. I know there's a lot of money coming in on the Bucs. It's very little, but the ticket count is little on the Saints and the money's little on. I don't like that. I never like that. I like low ticket count, high money. In this game, the public and the pros seem to be on Tampa Bay.
Yeah, 62% of the bets and 67% of the money is on Tampa Bay.
Saints are 2-15 against the spread opening week the last 17 years.
Well, 2 years ago they lost the Bucs, I think, our first week, and then they went into overtime against the Browns. I could have that
with Fitzpatrick starting.
I don't think these are trends you can dismiss. It's like Andy Reid in September. Like, that's one of the things that pissed me off. I didn't say this yesterday to you. Andy Reid in September is really good. Andy Reid off a bye week is really good. Well, the opening day game is off a bye week.
Well, hold on though. Let's. Andy Reid's season ended last year. Remember, Andy Reid's season was always like the first 11 weeks because the thought was that Andy Reid drew up so many plays and he didn't have the discipline to hold any back for the last end of the season. Now that he's got that team, Andy Reid's season's now just all the way through February now, I think, Mike.
No doubt. I mean, look, before you came in, I was saying that they played a game that's not typical for the Chiefs. They didn't throw it down the field. They ran the ball, which is something Andy really never wants to do. They ran it effectively. They had 13 third downs in a game. Usually the Chiefs only have 8 third downs in a game. They had 13. You want to, if you're playing the Chiefs, one of the things I would say is we want to get them in as many third downs as we can, which means you're not giving up big plays. And they were able to get in a lot of third downs, and they converted them.
I just hammered the Buccaneers right there. Like, as you were talking, I couldn't get my phone out fast enough to hammer the Buccaneers. They're going to win, huh? You think they're going to do very well this weekend?
I think, look, again, 43-year-old guy, this is the best he's going to look, right? In September, he's going to look his best. I mean, it's not going to get better in December and January. It's going to get, I know he's eating avocado ice cream, and I love him to death, but it's harder to get. I mean, look, I'm 61. It's hard for me to get out of bed every morning. It ain't easy. The older you get, it's hard.
61 years old getting blocked on Instagram.
Isn't that great? I love it. I'm so proud of that, Now I got to go fishtail him. I'm going to come up with an account. I'm going to get one of my daughter-in-laws to get on there and start harassing them.
Fishtail? You mean catfish?
Whatever that is, yeah, something like that, yeah.
You're the best, Lombardi. You got Rams +3, Broncos +2.5, Falcons +2.5. We will see you on Monday. Good luck.
I can't wait, guys. Thank you so much.
Hold on. Hey, we need we're doing a plus or minus survivor in the office. And you can plus or minus 1 to any spread to help yourself out for the weekend, but it has to be your best bet, and we'll do a survivor who can obviously last throughout the entire season or the longest.
Against the spread.
Yep. No, you can pick anything. Yeah, you can do anything.
You can pick any game you want, winner, chicken dinner, but the spread doesn't matter, right? I'll take Pittsburgh.
No, the spread does matter. You can add 1 to is.
Yeah, so you would either take.
I'll take Pittsburgh, and I can get it down to 4.5.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take Pittsburgh.
Okay, there it is.
Love that.
Hey, don't lose this. Do not lose this opening week. That would be quite a shot at the Italian from New Jersey.
Oh, it would be horrible. But, you caught me off guard on that. I'd have to think about it. But, I'll survive it. I'll be all right.
All right, Michael.
I think I'm okay on that. I'll take Pittsburgh. What do you have the line on Pittsburgh? I have it at 5.5 right now.
5.5. I mean, the Giants' O-line stinks. They're going to have a terrible night. I mean, you're on the right side of that.
I hope so. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Watch that film on Monday. Let's get some better fucking answers next week.
All right, I promise.
All right, let's do the survivor for the rest of the office.
Let's do it. I did mine.
You had the
Colts -6.5. And am I going to be upset about that? Potentially. Am I going to allow the Colts to ruin my survivor plus or minus 1 thing for this entire office? Maybe. But I'm going Colts -6.5 against the Jacksonville Jags. Go ahead and lock it up. I'm going to survive. I will survive. Hey.
Connor?
Yeah, I feel like in this scenario, I gotta, put my money where my mouth is, and so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Patriots 5.5.
Wow,
that is so dumb.
Well, the more I think about it, the Dolphins they don't have one game plan for this offense. It's unseen. It's never been seen before. So if this offense comes out and it's something that, is unique, that Josh McDaniels, a great offensive mind, put together all offseason with Cam, I think that there's a chance, we could win by a touchdown.
You're saying the Dolphins have no idea what the Patriots offense is going to look like?
Well, yeah, because it's brand new, right? So anyone who was on the Patriots last year, it's not as if they know what the Patriots offense looks like this year, correct?
It's going to look like a college offense that doesn't know how to throw the football.
Okay, so you have no idea either. So let's find out. Let's find out, boys, and let's ride with them.
I'm going Buccaneers +4.5.
Nice. That's smart. It sounds like that's smart money. Really
smart. I'm going to tail Pat here. I don't like it, but it's a common sense pick.
Yeah, legit.
Colts minus 6.5.
Yeah, and by the way, everybody's going to think that I'm doing this just because I'm.
You're not.
The Colts. I'm not. I'm doing this strictly because one team was trying to quit football this year, and another team was trying to win football this year, and that just seems like a recipe for disaster for the Jacksonville Jags potentially.
Ty, what do you got?
I also want to go Colts minus 6.5, but I'm going to go Packers plus 3.5.
Oh, everybody's just going with their hearts here.
Here we go.
You have to. I wasn't going to, but I think they're going to win straight up.
Foxy
so.
can't. You can't do that.
Do it, Fox.
You already know Lions are minus 2.5 right now. The Bears stink. Mitch Trubisky stinks. Get that down to minus 1.5. I do think it's a close game. I think Matt Prater kicks the game-winning field goal, and we cover.
Raldi, you got a pick?
The Seattle Seahawks coming in 1.5.
I don't like that.
Whoa.
That's dangerous.
What is it?
Seattle minus 1.5 against the Falcons.
God, dude.
Is Zito in the back?
Yep, Bear Dahn. All the way, Bears all the way.
Wow.
Plus 4 or whatever?
Bears.
Yeah, plus 4.
I think it's plus 3.5.
Oh, right now it's a plus 4.5 points.
Even better.
No big deal.
Everybody's
No. I mean, they're 2.5 right now, so they'll be plus 3.5 in this.
Okay.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Bear
Yeah.
Dahn.
Who else is back there?
You got Jay.
Jay, you doing this?
Sure, why not?
Jesus.
Here you go, Jay. Here you go, Jay.
I'll take the Cowboys.
Oh.
Okay.
Confident pick.
Cowboy.
Minus 2.
Jeez Louise.
Is Mitt?
Mitt's back there, yeah.
Mitt, what do you got, buddy?
No, can't do it. That's like rule number 1. That's like rule number 1 through 5. Can't come on the microphone soft. People will think you're weak. Can't do it. Let's go. What are you doing?
Mitt?
I got the Falcons. Sorry, I'm trying to run the board back here.
Hey, you're doing a great job, by the way.
Good job, Mitt.
Great job.
Nice job, Mitt.
Falcons. So him and Nick going up against each other.
Falcons
Foxy.
plus 3.5. Okay.
Wow.
Bags, what are you going with?
Cowboys?
Yeah, he's
Cowboys.
also on the boys.
Cowboys minus 2.
Louis Bags.
Cowboys.
That was
Let's go.
AJ's too, right?
That was also AJ's, yep.
Okay.
AJ Cowboys.
Bill McComas is in here.
Bill.
Saints.
Wow.
Saints.
Wow.
Minus 2.5.
There's another straight up battle.
Yeah, we got a lot of battles.
So people didn't want to survive. People just
No.
said, let's get out of here right now.
People want to go to war.
And then
Mr. Mansuri, you're going with the Giants?
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm going with the Giants.
Oh, wow. Got you stealing.
Big Danny Dimes, Saquon Barkley.
Giants
I'm going with the
6.5.
Giants.
Are you a Giants fan?
I am. Let's go blue.
Okay.
A lot of people going with
These
the
all
teams. You
homer,
gotta love
we're
it.
all homer picks.
Hey, isn't Long Island normally a Jets town, though? Isn't Long Island a Jets town?
Yeah, but I spent my formative years in New York City, so
Oh, so New York City's Giants, Long Island's Jets,
Long Island's mostly the Jets.
and Jersey is Giants, right?
Split depends on where in Jersey. Northern Jersey, big Giants people.
Oh, man. Giants, they don't have a good offensive line. They're rebuilding a culture. Did they lose the locker room yet? I don't know. Steelers probably going to win. I'm not going to do that. I feel very good.
I just feel comfortable with the points, babe.
Yeah, you should. As you should. I think you should feel really good
I
with
just
that.
don't know if that's the right way to go.
Hey, look, you just gotta hope that Big Ben doesn't fucking touch the salami before.
Oh, he's done with that. He told Jesus.
That's not allowed on this show, okay? All right, before we get out of here, I've got 4 picks for the weekend that we'll keep track of all year long, obviously. I got Browns and Ravens under 48.5. Baltimore and Minnesota, both top 5 in rushing attempts last season. I say Minnesota because Stefanski's in Cleveland. So Baltimore's going to run the ball a lot. Browns, new DC, okay? Joe Woods. When he took over for Baltimore in 2017, they finished 3rd in rushing defense. They were 27th the year before. So I think Browns' rushing defense gets better to control Lamar and the Ravens. Obviously, the Baltimore defense is top 10 against the run. So a lot of ground, a lot of good defense. Browns, Ravens under 48.5. Packers and Vikings under 44.5. Last year they were 21-16 and 23-10, both under. Last 6 games in this rivalry have gone under. Dolphins and Patriots under. I don't trust these offenses at all.
This show, I mean, I've gone to my phone and Max betted 3 times now.
Tony unders is
hammer.
all
I
the way
love
back.
Hammer down.
Hey,
I love unders.
hammer down. Browns, Ravens under 48. That seems like a lock.
I loved hearing
Both
the
teams
reason-
love to run the ball.
Yeah. Clock's going to be running.
And
Yeah.
if the Browns DC comes over, and maybe comes over and changes the Browns defense, rushing defense, we got a thing there.
Yeah, you do. You're right. I'm on it.
And then obviously my last bet was Colts minus 7.5, and it's just because Jacksonville feels like the Dolphins did last year, and I said it on your show earlier. Dolphins lost 59-10, 43-0, 31-6, and 30-10 to start the season last year. It just feels like it.
Here's my 2 bets of the
Love it.
weekend. Okay, There's a spread the love campaign going on right now on FanDuel for all states that FanDuel is available. And it's for the Los Angeles Rams. They're currently at +6, I believe. They've moved.
Hammer that.
Hammer that one. It'll probably get
Whatever
up to,
it ends.
it'll probably get up to like +20, +30. It doesn't matter when you get in on it. You get the final total. For every, I think, 5,000 bettors on that, it goes up a point. So we need the entire team to really rally behind the spread the love for the Rams. That's just free $50 there if we all get involved in that. And I think the number that FanDuel is set to lose here is mighty, and that's what we're in this for.
Yeah. Yep.
And also the Colts -7.5, the boost from -115 to +140. That feels like an absolute lock. I don't know what Gardner Minshew is going to be able to do, and maybe that defense last year that was unbelievable for the Colts is just confused by the lack of players that they know who's on the team, and maybe that offensive line that rested for a day and is feeling good just doesn't know how to block people anymore, and maybe Phillip Rivers doesn't know how to throw dimes anymore, and maybe there's a lot of maybes there, I guess, that could potentially happen. This feels like a blowout for the Colts, and I'm going to continue my hot streak on FanDuel trying to bankrupt them this 2020 NFL
That's
season.
beautiful. That's a beautiful thing that FanDuel Sportsbook does.
That spread the love thing?
Oh my God,
It's dumb.
stealing money.
It's literally.
I don't know if I can say that, but it's stealing money.
Highway robbery.
It is. I think it's a +5, +6
And
right
plus
now.
140 on the Colts normal line.
Oh.
Also a thing of beauty. Gumpy, do you have 3 or 4 bets that we could get out of here on?
I got 3 here, Tone. I am going to take the Panthers +3 at home against the Raiders. Teddy Bridgewater 16-2 against the spread as a dog, and the Raiders 0-3-1 against the spread their last 4 as a road favorite. I am taking the Bucks, like we said. Saints terrible week 1.
Yep.
Tom Brady 37-16-1 against the spread as a dog in his career.
Hasn't been a dog in 75 games. Is that correct?
74.
74.
Yeah, Bill Belichick, 75
There
and
it is.
counting. Still.
How you doing?
And I'm going with the Seahawks. Minus
Really?
-2.5, 8-2 last 10 as a road favorite, and the Falcons are 0-4 against the spread their last 4 week 1 games.
All right, so Pat's got the Rams spread the love. That's a winner. Colts -7.5, getting it +140. Gumpy's got the Panthers, Bucks, and Seattle. Lombardi's got the Rams, Broncos, and Falcons. I have the under in Green Bay and Minnesota, Cleveland and Baltimore, Pats and Dolphins, and then the Colts -7.5.
Yeah.
Appreciate everyone watching.
Yeah, here we go. Let's all make our money.
We will be back on Monday to recap the weekend and also talk about the 2 Monday night games. Can't thank Mr. Lombardi enough. Pat, thank you for coming and joining. Boys,
Oh,
good
no,
luck
thanks
this
for having
weekend.
me. Thanks for having me. Hammer!
Dahn! See you Monday.